Hi, I'm Chris.
And I'm Lisa.
We're at the beautiful historic conference house on Staten Island, New York. Would you like to tell everyone why we're here, Lisa?
Oh, this is a wonderful day. It's a day that we're going back in time. We feel like we're really back in time.
Back in
Little
time.
piece of history where they chose the conference house to actually have a peace. They came together to try to draw a peace treaty between Adams, Rutledge, and Benjamin Franklin.
For the end of the Revolutionary War between the United States and Great Britain. But it never happened. They wanted this to happen, but they weren't able to get this peace treaty together and sign it.
But it's still a little bit of history right here on Staten Island that they did come and they chose this actual spot to try to determine that. So we're here and we're reliving a little part of history. They're dancing.
Wonderful. We're here, and here are the reenactors of the Revolutionary War. Hello, my friend.
Hello. So, another one is.
How are you? All right. How you doing? Ray Helge from the 4th Battalion, New Jersey Volunteers here with Chris the Hobby Guy, and today we're going to talk a little bit about the new model British short land pattern musket. Okay, sometimes today is referred to as the brown Bess musket, and this is a reproduction of the British musket that was issued at the time of the American Revolution. It's a 75 caliber smooth bore, which means there's no rifling like a modern shotgun. It's a flintlock ignition system, which means that this is actually a piece of sharpened flint stone. Right? Has to strike this steel, set a spark to gunpowder in this pan, flash through this little hole in the side of the barrel. See if I can find it. Flash through that little hole there. Set off the gunpowder in your main charge. Send your ball down range. Right? You move into the shade a little bit more here. Move in, see if you can get this. Just get the shot of the spark. Okay, so that is how the flintlock musket works. Ammunition. And actually the rebel forces over there are shooting their muskets. This is probably not the safest place to shoot it, but the ammunition would be made pre-rolled paper tubes that would contain a lead round ball and a pre-measured amount of gunpowder. I'm not going to fire right over here because we're too close to the house, but on command of the officer, they would take out one of these cartridges, they'd bite the end off, they'd pour a little bit into the frying pan here, close that, turn the musket around, pour the rest of the gunpowder, drop all paper and everything down the barrel, draw the rammer, ram it all home, return the rammer, shoulder the firelock, and then upon the command of the officer it would be made. Present and fire. A good musket man should be able to do that 3 to 4 times a minute. Of course, that is, to load and fire quickly is important, but the other advantage that the British Army had during the American Revolution is that all of their soldiers were armed with bayonets for their muskets. A large portion, especially early in the war, the Americans, the Continentals, were not. So can you imagine 100 men coming at you like this? It intimidated a lot of people, and that was the intention of it. Usually the idea was that one side would break, and usually if you didn't have a bayonet, you would probably turn and run if you were getting charged by a bunch of regular troops armed with bayonets like this.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome,
That
Chris.
was wonderful. So, gentlemen, can you tell us a little bit about your weapons that you're holding?
This is a reproduction of a French Charleville musket. It's a flintlock musket. It's of 69 caliber, which means it fires a lead ball that's about 5/8 of an inch. You can see that the bore muzzle is a big size. The ball, it was a low velocity weapon, and the ball was about 1 ounce of lead. It had a bruising, crushing impact, would cause shattered bones, which would then result in legs and arms being amputated, as there was no way to cure. Oh, and here's the ball.
This is a 69 caliber ball for the Charleville.
The musket is a smooth bore, which means that it doesn't have any rifling in the barrel. It's accurate to maybe about 50 yards. So, we've got some kite flyers. Maybe what we'll do is fire off that way. Yeah, if you want to come. All right, shoulder. Make ready. Present. Fire. There you go. There you go. Present. Fire. And that's how it works.
Thank you so much. That was just wonderful.
All right, our pleasure.
So our tour guide Joe,
Yes.
and this is the historic Phillip House, also known as the Conference House.
My name is Joe. I'm the Dozenier. I'm also a professor at the College of Staten Island. Welcome to the Conference House, originally known as the Phillip House or Bentley Manor. It has the name Conference House because of the meeting you just saw take place. Were you all present for the reenactment? No? Okay. Well, the meeting that took place here originally took place on September 11th, 1776. And Lord Howe originally requested that George Washington show up. Washington declined because he was not addressed as General Washington. Keep in mind, he was the commander-in-chief of the Continental Army, and he wanted that much respect, and he didn't get it. So in place, he sent 3 men. And these 3 men represented different portions of the colonies. He sent John Adams, who represented the New England, the northern colonies, Benjamin Franklin, who represented the middle colonies, and Edward Rutledge, who represented the southern colonies. These 3 men rode from Perth Amboy, which was rebel-held territory, to Staten Island, which was very loyal to the crown. They came up and they met in this room right here. Now originally the meeting took place for around 3 hours. And if you notice, there's a deck of cards on the table. The reason why we put that there is because Lord Howe was holding all the cards. The reason why he was holding all the cards is because a month prior, Lord Howe's brother, General Howe of the British Army, defeated George Washington at the Battle of Long Island and pushed Washington out of New York City. And in fact, New York City would be British-held territory until the very end of the war. Now, the Revolution itself, the Revolutionary War went from 1775 with the Battle of Lexington and Concord all the way to 1783, just after the Battle of Yorktown of 1781, and it ended with the signing of the Treaty of Paris of 1783. This house was deserted by the 1920s, and it was nearly torn down. So when the Historical Society took it over, all the furniture you see here, it's not original to the house, but it is original to the colonial era. And they brought in all this stuff to recreate the colonial feeling. If you look in this room here, this is the main dining room, and all the china is on display for a reason. The Phillip family would have done the exact same thing to display their status, because of their time they were a very wealthy family.